The website InfoWars, owned by Alex Jones, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in Texas. It comes after the site was found liable for damages in 3 lawsuits last year. They centered on Jones's false claim that the 2012 Sandy Hook school shooting was a hoax.
In the wake of losing several defamation cases, far-right propagandist Alex Jones has filed for bankruptcy protection. And this filing comes a week before a jury was set to decide how much Jones should have to pay Sandy Hook families for his lies. Welcome into TYT's Overruled. I'm your host, legal analyst Adrienne Lawrence. In his last broadcast, InfoWars founder Alex Jones said on air that he's considering bankruptcy and asked his listeners to financially support him to stay afloat. What he didn't say is that he has already moved forward with filing a Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in a Texas federal court on Sunday. Jones filed on behalf of 3 smaller companies that all exist under his main holding company, Free Speech Systems, LLC, which did not file for bankruptcy. According to the filing, InfoWars has up to $50,000 in assets and up to $10 million in liabilities. The 2 other companies that also filed for bankruptcy have about $1 million in assets. Jones's bankruptcy filing comes as the far-right host is facing multiple defamation lawsuits stemming from lies that Jones told on his show. The most high-profile of the cases is that brought by the Sandy Hook families, who sued Jones for claiming that the 2012 school shooting in Newtown, Connecticut was fabricated. Just last month, Jones offered to pay $120,000 each to the 12 plaintiffs to settle the cases. But the Sandy Hook families rejected the offer. And it was supposed to be in a week coming up that a jury would be considering how much money Jones would have to pay his victims. But now he files for bankruptcy. So what does this bankruptcy mean for the Sandy Hook families and others suing Jones? Filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy puts an automatic hold on civil litigation, allowing the company to prepare plans to fix itself. During this time, it means that the company will continue to operate, so InfoWars will likely still be on air. Translation: Jones is filing so he can delay the inevitable, which is accountability for his InfoWars antics. As Chris Hahn tweeted, Alex Jones and InfoWars were always morally bankrupt. Their filing for financial bankruptcy is just a ploy to avoid the consequences of their intentional lies. So why is Jones delaying the inevitable? Jones is likely using bankruptcy in hopes of gaining leverage over the Sandy Hook families for fear of what the actual amount of his liability will be. Here's a quote from Bloomberg Law. In the InfoWars bankruptcy, lawyers set up a trust that would pay people suing the companies. By establishing a trust to settle legal claims in bankruptcy, Jones's companies are following a controversial playbook used by other corporations facing significant lawsuits. Companies including opioid manufacturer, Purdue Pharma, LP, and youth organization Boy Scouts of America have sought Chapter 11 protection to settle thousands of cases and streamline payouts to victims claiming harm. Jones lost the defamation cases, and the Sandy Hook families wouldn't settle for his meager $120,000 offer apiece. Now that it's time to determine how much he should have to pay these families, Jones files for bankruptcy. His hope is really just to force the families to give up and settle for an amount that is more easy for Jones to put out, as opposed to actually having to pay them for the damages that they faced. And the thing is this is what Remington did when the Sandy Hook families also sued them for how they were manufacturing that AR-15-like rifle that was used in the shootings. Ultimately, Remington filed for bankruptcy twice, forcing the families to settle for about $73 million, when they probably could have gotten more if Remington didn't start filing for bankruptcy and selling off assets. Here, Jones is using the exact same legal loopholes to try to pigeonhole the Sandy Hook families into accepting less than their worth. This is cowardly antics, but that's just my opinion. I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like and follow button, and thanks for watching.